everyone. Thank you guys for coming. So we're about to start our presentation. We have Lara from SAIMechE who will be telling you guys all about SAIMechE and how to register. And then I'm Hlamigile Manana, the chairperson of SAIMechE. So as you guys were scanning in and registering, you're supposed to receive 3 things. Your game card for your points when you play games for the prizes. Then there's the raffle card. So on the raffle card, there's a question there. It says, I'm a cycle that powers your car, but I'm not a bicycle. What am I? So you're gonna write your answer there, what you think it is, and all the people who have the correct answers will be entered into our draw, and the one that gets picked wins a prize. And then this is your food ticket. So this is what's going to ensure that you get your meal at Rag Farm after the presentation. So yeah, does everyone have everything? Okay, the committee members will assist everyone with the things that they're missing, and then they'll sort you guys out before. So just make sure before you go to Rag Farm, you have all 3 things with you, especially the food tickets. And then I'll just hand over to Lara to do the presentation.
Thank you guys. Hello. As Hlamigile mentioned, my name is Lara van der Walt. I am from SAIMechE's National Council. I feel like I'm towering over you. Hold on. I'm from SAIMechE's National Council. And I serve as their student chapter liaison, which means that I oversee all of the student chapters in the country. And today I'll be introducing you to SAIMechE, what it is, why you should consider joining, why you should consider getting involved. So first of all, who is SAIMechE? So it's the South African Institute for Mechanical and Mechatronic Engineers. It is the senior body representing South Africa and representing mechanical engineers in South Africa. So you would be aware of some of the other ones. Of course, we have EXA, the Engineering Council of South Africa. They oversee all of us. And then under those, there are specific ones like SAIMechE for mechanical engineers. You might have heard of SAI-E for electrical engineers, or SAI-C for civil engineers. These are also student chapters on this campus for those. It's a non-profit organization, registered non-profit. It's also a voluntary registered organization under EXA, which means that the Engineering Council of South Africa does recognize SAIMechE. And yeah, we've spoken about EXA. And it represents the interests of mechanical and mechatronic engineers in South Africa. So it's specifically, its role is to represent you at a student level already, and once you become an engineer, and sort of represent the mechanical engineering industry with EXA and on a more global scale. Then our mission is to serve the interests and needs of its members of the mechanical engineering community and to promote the continued supply of appropriate and sufficient mechanical engineering skills to meet the nation's needs, thereby enhancing the competitiveness of the local industry to benefit all. So SAIMechE ensures that there is enough mechanical engineers, and that those mechanical engineers are trained to a level that is appropriate and meets EXA's requirements, so that we can meet the needs in South Africa and abroad, and so that mechanical engineers remain in high standing from South Africa. Our structure is we're a voluntary association and a non-profit, as I mentioned. We have a council, so SAIMechE National Council, on which I serve, and the council has a president, a vice president, and a national treasurer, and then it has a CEO. Those of you who attended last year would have met the CEO. I'm sorry he's not here today. You're stuck with me. I'm sorry, but last year the CEO was here to speak to you. And the CEO lives here around Joburg, Ansel Mlembe. He's very, very involved in the student chapters, and specifically at the UJ APK student chapter. He's a big fan of you guys. So you really are a fan favorite amongst the national committees. Then there are branches. So you guys fall under central branch. So for those of you who aren't members of SAIMechE yet, when you sign up on the website, which we'll get to in a second, you will sign up under central branch. So keep that in mind, please. You are a central branch member. And then all of the central branch and all of the other branches then have committees of their own, which has a chairperson, a vice chairperson, etc. as well. And many of your faculty members here at UJ-APK serve on Central Branches Committee. So UJ-APK is really very well positioned for you to get as much benefit as you can from SAIMechE. And then it has academics and industry professionals. Then, as I mentioned, the branch committees. So the branch committees have those same mandatory portfolios, and then they have student representatives from academic institutions offering EXA accredited degrees. So every institution, or many institutions that have EXA accredited degrees, can have a SAIMechE student chapter like you guys have here, and we'll talk more about that. So why should you become a member of SAIMechE? It gives you the opportunity to serve your fellow members and the profession at large, to serve the mechanical engineering profession, to engage with tertiary education institutions, to engage with EXA and other statutory bodies, and to grow your professional network, increase your knowledge, and grow your professional status. So let's talk about why that even matters, guys. Why do you need to worry about this as a first year, second year, third year student? I'm sure if those of you who are fourth years here, you're starting to think about things like this. But why should you care at a student level? And the fact of the matter is that there just are too many of you. Everybody in this room will graduate from UJ, hopefully. If you pass physics, will graduate from UJ with a mechanical engineering science degree. Everybody in all of your other classes will graduate with that same degree. That is, at UJ, that's about 60 students, 60 mechanical engineers going out into the world each year. And then at every other tertiary education institution in the country, the same thing is happening. And I recently spent a few weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I spent the afternoon at the University of Pretoria, and their class sizes are insane. They have 200 mechanical engineers going out there every year, graduating every year with the same degree that you have. And at Stellenbosch and at UCT, they have that same amounts that they are sending out every year. And the fact is that the market in South Africa is not big enough. So where will you go? Now, I'm not trying to scare you. Engineers are highly, highly employable, and the chances are that you will not be unemployed. But there's a difference between having a job and having the job you want. So I can ensure to you that you will get a job. Mechanical engineers are highly employable. You will not be worried about getting a job. But maybe you are taking sort of scraps because this is the jobs that you were offered now, but you don't actually want to work in this field. Because mechanical engineering is also such a wide field that there's so many things you can do. But maybe the field that you want to go into specifically is quite niche and there's not a lot of opportunities there. The other thing I want to tell you is that absolutely nobody cares about your marks. They care about that piece of paper that you get at the end. And when you apply to a graduate program, which I highly recommend graduate programs if you can get into them, then they might look at your marks. But after that, they really do not care about your marks. Industry does not care about your marks. They care about your degree. Industry does not care how long it took you to get your degree. They care that you got it. To give you, I'm so embarrassed that this is going on YouTube, but I'm going to say it anyway. To give you a very clear picture of that, I am one of you. I graduated from UJ APK 2 years ago now with a mechanical engineering degree, and I'm actually still a student here. I'm doing my master's here now. So I've been where you are. I served on the student chapter for 5 years. And I'll tell you a bit more about my story in a second. But I failed physics in my first year, which is why I made that joke earlier. Failed physics in my first year here, but that's mainly because the physics department hates us as engineers. So I failed physics in my first year, and that really knocked the wind out of me. It was the first time I'd ever failed at anything, because to get into UJ, it's quite a small program. You have to be the best of the best. And so for all of you in high school, you were the best of the best. All of us were getting those top academic awards and things like that. And same for me, I'd never failed a test my entire high school career, never failed a test. And then I came to UJ, and I failed like majorly for the first time. I think my very first test I got a 32, which was very overwhelming. And second of all, and something that was very difficult for me, is that now your average, like I used to be the smart kid in high school, and now everybody's the smart kid. So now who am I? And so that's a very difficult thing to deal with. But to give you an idea about how little that matters, is that now I'm a lecturer and I teach physics in first year. And my class is doing better, hopefully, than I did. Industry really does not care about your marks and about what you did. They care about who you are as a person and about the soft skills that you have developed along the way. And those soft skills include networking, knowledge, and professional status. So me joining SAIMechE allowed me to get a network, allowed me to increase my knowledge, and not just engineering knowledge, but soft skills, skills like public speaking, skills like interviewing skills, networking, being able to talk to professionals, things like that. That's what SAIMechE and student chapter leadership is going to teach you, is things that you will not learn in a classroom. Problem solving skills. And that's very, very important, because all of us learn the same theory and all of us have the same degree. So what makes you different? So full members receive benefits such as discount on their EXA registration. So this is after you graduate. You get a discount on your EXA registration fee, which, as I hope that you would be aware of, EXA has changed their rules that everybody now who would like to practice as an engineer has to register. Previously, it was a voluntary thing. You could choose to become a professional engineer. Now it is in the process of becoming regulated and you have to register. And there's a registration fee each year that you must pay to be a candidate engineer, graduate engineer, and then ultimately a professional engineer. SAIMechE, if you are a member of SAIMechE, a full member, then you get a discount on that fee. You also get free entry to all SAIMechE events. So those of you who are already members will have received emails. Those of you who are signing up today, you will start to receive these emails. And this is things like technical talks, webinars, and seminars that they present. It also includes site visits, branch dinners, and branch and national AGMs. These are all great opportunities to network with professionals in Central Branch. So to meet professionals, to meet, I call them grown-ups, to meet the grown-ups, and to mingle with them outside of the student chapter environment. You also get free and unique access to respected academics and leaders, possible mentors, which is very important in becoming professionally registered, possible employers, employees, business partners, all of those types of things. It's all about building your network. Unfortunately, it's all about who you know. And this is how you're going to build that if you were not privileged to be born into the family that has engineers all over the place. When I came here as a first year, I did not know one single engineer. And for many of you, this might be the same situation. For many of you, you are possibly first generation, going to university even. And so you were not blessed with what some of your peers may have, which is a wide network that is already established. Maybe your parents have connections that can help you and so on. So for some of us, we need to start on our own and build our way up to that. And this is how we do that. So SAIMechE membership is important. First of all, applying for SAIMechE student membership is free. There is no charge. So you sign up on the website, you sign up as a student member. They will require you to submit your student card. So you take a picture of your student card and you upload it. It is absolutely free to be a member of SAIMechE as a student. It is the only institution that currently does that. SAIE, SAIC, all of them have membership fees for students as well. SAIMechE does not. You gain exclusive access to all of the events held by your student chapter. And as I mentioned, your student chapter is the most popular of all of the student chapters. They are our most successful student chapter. And I'm not biased just because I come from here. Generally, on a national level, they are very highly favored. There's lots of events that they host. You get things like these. And honestly, let's all be real. you are only sitting for this half an hour so you can go have fun at Rag Farm. That's fine with me as well. But you get access to the fun parts of it. You get to go to site visits. You get to meet industry professionals. You get Career Day, which Career Day here, I mean, is a fantastic event each year. So you get exclusive access to all of that. And then you gain valuable academic, non-academic skills. You get a network in industry before you graduate. It's too late to start looking when you are graduating. It's too late in your 4th year to start trying to find employers. It's too late. You learn to build your CV actively. You are adding things to your CV. You can say you were a part of SAIMechE. You went to these events. You went to these site visits. Possibly from SAIMechE, you're getting opportunities like VAC work, etc. You learn about job opportunities in the field, and you are, and this is the big thing, you are surrounded and interact with ambitious, driven, go-getter individuals who inspire you to reach your full potential. So to tell you a bit more about my story, so as I mentioned, in my first year I started here just like you, and failed physics, broke down, cried myself to sleep for a few weeks, and then out of pure desperation, I joined the SAIMechE student chapter. I think to prove to myself and to prove to my parents that I wasn't a complete disappointment, I joined the SAIMechE student chapter, and it's the best decision I had ever made. It has changed my life in ways that I cannot describe to you, but I will attempt now for 10 minutes to do so. So, first of all, in my first year, my friends and the people I had surrounded myself with were quite negative. Everybody was complaining, everybody was having a hard time, because everyone's having a hard time. You're studying a hard degree, guys. It's hard, it's supposed to be. But the group of friends that I had, they were all just complaining, they were skipping classes, I was skipping classes with them. Which might explain the failing as well. And I was just in this negative space, and we were giving excuses for everything, saying, oh no, but I failed this test because this lecturer is doing this and all of that. And that's the space that I was in. And I hated my life. I thought I'd made a massive mistake coming here, spending all of this money, coming to Joburg. I thought I'd made a massive mistake. I will never be an engineer. And if I miraculously become one, I won't be a good one. And I was in this bubble of negativity. And then, as I said, pure desperation, joined SAIMechE. And for the first time, a few different things happened. First of all, I joined in my first year, so I was just a little baby back then. First of all, I had older friends for the first time. I had friends who were in 3rd year and 4th year, who could say to me, oh, Prof. Madushele asks questions like this. Or in Design 2, this is what's important, for instance. I had friends who could explain to me what to expect when and so on, and who could give me some hope. The second thing that happened is that I had friends who cared about engineering, who were positive, who were excited, who wanted to be engineers, who wanted to serve the engineering community, who wanted to make a difference. And suddenly I was lifted out of this dark hole of, oh, everyone just hates the engineers and this is so hard and I'll never be an engineer. And I was surrounded by people who were trying to do better, who were trying to make themselves and others better. And that changed my life. And I was telling Klamekile, the chair, just before we started, when I joined, my first job at SAIMechE was to make these little cards that all of you got today. That was my first and only responsibility for my first roadshow, was Lara will make these little cards. And I stressed myself out about it completely. I spent so much time on Excel making it perfect, like printing it out, cutting it. I was so terrified of it. And that obviously went well. And then I started growing, and that year I held my first event on my own, a site visit which I went to that I organized on my own. And I grew and I made friends and my confidence grew and I learned who I was outside of being the high school smart kid. And that second year that I served, I was chair. And I was chairperson for 2 years. And then I started stepping back in my final year because OIP and PJM is terrible. Design and research is very difficult. So I started stepping back, and obviously now I'm no longer involved at UJ. I now do. I was then, when I graduated, pulled into National Council and I now serve the student chapters all across the country. And UJ is used as a guideline to train other student chapters in the country. They are recognized as the best student chapter in the country, and they have been for years now. So don't let that opportunity pass you by. So really, being surrounded by these driven go-getter individuals changed my life, and they made me who I am today. And more than that as well, is that suddenly I had friends who not only wanted to better themselves, but wanted to better others. I'm sure you all have met a friend who thinks that you have to fail for them to succeed. Right? We've all studied with those people or worked in projects with those people. They don't share notes, they won't help you in class, they don't answer questions, they never want anything to do with you. And that's just not the case, guys. My first year as well, the reason I was struggling so much is because I was suffering in silence. I didn't tell anyone that I was having a hard time because I thought I was the only one. You're not the only one that feels that way. It's a hard degree, and it's supposed to be. Engineering is a team sport. You should be working together. And suddenly I was out of that group of, no, I'm not giving you my notes, I'm not helping you with this thing. And I was in a group that says every time they get an opportunity, they say, can I bring someone along? I have a friend who would really love to be part of this project as well. Can I bring them? I would love to send this on the WhatsApp group for others to see it. And that's the circle that you grow. That's the peers that you grow. And those peers have brought me onto projects and things that I would never have imagined. Every single opportunity in my life that I've gotten since graduating, and even before that really, every cool thing I've ever done is because I joined SAIMechE. And because my network is high achieving people. My friends are high achieving people because of this. Those friends I had in first year they all did graduate, they are all engineers now, and they are doing their normal engineering jobs. But the friends that I made in SAIMechE are excelling in their careers. They are doing master's degrees and doctorates now. They are leaders in their fields, and they are going to remember me. And they are going to say one day when I maybe need a job or I need an opportunity, oh, I served with Lara on SAIMechE and she was so great. And that is the thing. You are who you surround yourself with. And engineering is a team sport. So why do I need to worry about all of this while I'm studying? I've gotten through all of that already. Times are tough out there, guys. You need to put yourself apart. You need to put things on your CV that put you apart. And that can be things like this. SAIMechE makes it so easy to put things on your CV that put you apart from the thousands and thousands of engineers going into industry every year. You attended an event, you attended a workshop, you went to a site visit, you got VAC work, for instance. Or if you really want to kick it up a notch, you served on the SAIMechE Student Chapter Council. You served on the committee, which I really can't recommend serving on the committee enough if you want to. I had a wonderful time serving on the committee. So, many people are unemployed or working in unrelated jobs. That's what we were saying. You're going to get a job, guys. Engineers are highly employable, but you're not going to get a job necessarily that you like, that you enjoy, that you want to be doing. So you have to build your technical skills, build your network, add things to your CV that are not the same that everybody else had. I took a semester of Mandarin randomly in my second year. That's on my CV. Can't speak a word of it. But it's on my CV because it puts me apart. And become professionally registered to start your own business if that's what you want to do, entrepreneurship. Building a network, building your CV, building soft skills. If you have a CV that looks average, but you can talk the talk in an interview, and you know how to talk to professionals, you know how to, let's be honest, talk nonsense, because none of us know what we're talking about when we go into interviews, then if you're likable, then that is so much more important than being high achieving academically and only doing that. You have to be a well-rounded individual, guys. Okay. So, SAIMechE Student Chapters is the first of its kind in South Africa. SAIMechE is also the oldest institution for engineers. SAIMechE is older than EXA. So it was established in like 18 something. It's very old. I don't know how old. Ansel would have been able to tell you, but you're stuck with me. I'm sorry. Watch the YouTube video from last year. Did you make one last year? Watch that one. Ansel will tell you. So we have started the SAIMechE Student Chapters Initiative in 2014. It is the most successful student chapter initiative ever of any mechanical or of any engineering institution. We have 11 active chapters at the moment, and it continues to grow every year. We established 3 chapters last year. We've already established another one this year. So it's massive, and you can see that you've made the top of the list. The mission of the student chapters is to bridge the gap between students and industry. The point of the student chapter is to be the bridge between you and industry, to take you out of your classroom and give you some skills and teach you how to engage with industry, and in some cases, many cases, bring industry to you or take you to industry. So site visits, technical talks, career day, all of those types of things. They do this by arranging technical talks where someone comes to campus to speak to you. Site visits where you go and see these sites of these big companies. Student roadshows, welcome. Career days, and as I mentioned, the SAIMechE UJ Career Day is a very big career day. It's fantastic. You would have seen it, some of the senior students, hopefully you would have seen it around campus. And mentoring events, the John Orr Memorial Lecture, which is held in October every year, Girl CAD sessions, fundraisers, community engagement, all of these things. And really, whatever else you want, go to your SAIMechE student chapter members and tell them, I think this would be a good initiative, or I would like to go to this company and I have a contact, could we arrange? And we can. So speak to your student chapter members, get involved. You can see them, they're wearing beautiful black and white shirts. I also own one of those shirts. I decided not to wear it today, very sadly, because I didn't want to be confused. I wanted to look like a grown-up. But get involved, guys. Tell them what you want. Tell them how they can best serve you, and get involved for yourself. So the real question is, why would you not join? It's free. You're getting all of these benefits. You can put it as a membership, like professional membership on your CV. Get involved. There's lots of fun to be had every year. There's a few social events. A lot of these social events have free food. I mean, why would you not go? Today you can win prizes. There's no reason not to join, and I cannot recommend it enough to you. It has changed my life. Everything I am and every opportunity I've gotten is because of SAIMechE UJ.